Shalom. One of the first halachot, one of the first laws that we find in the Shulchan Aruch that was written by Rav Yosef Karo and annotated by Rabbi Moshe Isserles is the halacha that a person should always have God in front of them. The pasuk that's quoted is King David, Shaviti HaShem l'negdi tamid, keep God in front of you. And that's why you'll see, especially in Sephardi synagogues, that the name of God, the Yud Kei Vav Kei name, is printed a lot of times on the Chazan's lectern. You'll have it right there in front of them, and that's having God's name right in front of you. But it's a little challenging to always think of God and always keep him in front of us at all times. It's a little unrealistic. So what does it actually mean? And I was thinking about this when I saw a recent report that says that people, the average person with a smartphone spends between 8 and 16 hours a day on their smartphone, looking at a screen. That's between 1 and 2/3 of a person's day is spent looking at a screen. They sort of distort King David's verse. Instead of saying having God in front of them at all times, they seem to have their screen in front of them at all times. And a lot of us are guilty of this, myself included. But I think that's how it can help us understand the idea of Shiviti HaShem l'negdi tamid, of keeping HaShem in front of us at all times. The idea being that every decision that we make, however mundane it is, whether it's what we eat or don't eat, all the way to what schools we pick to attend or what jobs we take, all have to be done with the idea of God being in front of us, of being led by the values that are in the Torah, the mitzvahs of the Torah, and thinking to ourselves, what's going to make us a greater person, a greater Eved Hashem, a greater servant of God. That wisdom that we were given is a great privilege. It's a great blessing that we have to be able to have a guiding light that guides our values. And I think that those are our daily words of inspiration that we can take with us. And we're not just running through life randomly, deciding from one pleasure to the next. What we're doing is we're trying to lead the most meaningful lives we can. And by having God in our lives, we're able to do that. Shalom.